Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Channing. She's sort of like a Zuko from Rizzo from Greece. And she's sort of, I don't know, like his girlfriend or
No, it's like a mommy figure.
yeah. And
It's like the antithesis of Uncle Magic is Auntie Magic.
yeah, and she's
but
she's
that's
a
black
buzzkill.
magic.
Yeah, no, it's no good.
No,
She's
no, like Lula was doing all kinds of
evil
aunts covens.
anti-magic.
Yeah.
Aunts are very wicked.
He had to be
So
stopped.
so it's the big lug and his wicked auntie, and when Bridget Nielsen drives away after seeing the cult leader, she yells, "Get the license plate!" And then they cut to her as her day job at the LAPD, where she looks up the license and finds out her name and where she works, so that they can ambush her after her photo shoot.
All right, so yeah, she gets done with the photo shoot. They're going down into the parking lot with her and the photographer, who's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take it from here. I have to meet you, this model who's working for me, and then he does the classic thing of like, listen, I'd be crazy not to want to sleep with you, but I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you and your career. And she's like, oh, like, I don't know about that. And he's like, come on, like, I'm just trying to help you lead like the best life you can lead.
Yeah. And then they show up.
As this fucking piece of shit.
This Weinsteinian figure.
Yes, exactly. Is like he's like right as he's about to fucking greenlight the script for Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. The fucking Axe Gang shows up to do direct action to this fuckboy.
They do clown this pussy.
They literally cancel him.
And they literally, by cancel him, I mean like push him up against the wall and just hit him with like 5 or 6 beautiful axe strokes.
Yep.
Just one after the other. Chop, chop, chop.
Yep. Chop down the tall tree.
Yeah. They murk him something lovely. She screams, runs away. And then right as she's running away, this is what I love about the 80s action genre, is that they're just so generous. And by generous is that there's really no reason for there to be a just nice looking man in glasses with like a big Valentine's box of chocolates.
He had chocolates
and a bottle of wine or champagne or something.
He was clearly going to see his sweetheart.
He's just coming home, like walking into the parking lot at night, just like going home.
Love being
Can't wait to see my wife and children. I work hard for them, but it's worth it. Just standing there, just axe, just
like, what's going on?
Just axe, and you just see the bottle shatter.
They set that shot up. That's how you know. That's the extra going the extra mile. Is they set up the totally unnecessary shot of the fucking champagne bottle dropping to the ground and exploding. The whole life ended with a stroke of an axe.
And then there's a security guard. And like they're in a car, and the security guard's like, "No, like I'll help you." And like he unholsters his service weapon. This fucking like guy who's probably making like $8 an hour or something. He's like, "I will die to defend the customers of this shopping mall." He unloads into the pickup truck, but like again, so generous. 80s action movies, just even in mediocre 80s action movies, the quality of ownage is just so superior to anything that you see now. They show like it must have been incredibly hard to film. They just show like a truck going at full speed and pancaking this guy straight into a concrete wall.
It ruled.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
And but unfortunately for our comrades, who were trying to save her, and by save her I mean like kill her so that like more bad things couldn't happen to her in the future. She gets away. And then we were treated to another what I think may be probably my favorite scene in the movie. So like finally they have a break in the case that they've been, like I said, they've been going to every glory hole
and nothing
in Los Angeles.
They have accomplished nothing.
No leads. They've got no leads.
Really, actually,
his uncle has just gotten more candy. That's it.
Yeah. Every time Cobra goes into a dimly lit bar or alleyway or shipping yard, merchant marine vessel, his uncle just has like a mouthful of jawbreakers,
just gummy worms spilling out of his dumb mouth.
He's got fucking milk duds idiotically pouring out of the sides of his leather jacket. His uncle is a sweet buffoon, and Cobra has got nowhere.
So finally, they have a break in the case. They have a witness who's almost been axed. She's the only survivor, and This is like, I guess like maybe 15 minutes after she was almost murdered and saw 3 different men be killed brutally right in front of her eyes. She's in a hospital and she's being interviewed by these 2 fucking morons.
Oops.
This uncle and his nephew. And the uncle is like, he's the nice guy who's just like, hey, like, we're some good guys that are going to have to ask you some very bad questions. And like, she's clearly in shock, PTSD, like trauma, like in every way, like, shaking from the horror of what's just happened to her. And now she has to deal with these 2 fucking idiots. So just imagine this. Imagine that's your woman and that's just happened to you. You have some fucking oaf in a newsboy cap who's just drooling fucking like pop rocks all over your fucking hands and shit. Who's just like, hey, you do drugs? No? Fuck. Okay, well, that was my only lead on why this happened to you. Like, okay, good. And
you would think you were in hell. You would think there's just this 5'5" muscle-bound simpleton in a duster and sunglasses and a matchstick, just looking at a human skull or something.
Yeah, no. Again, while his uncle is asking this woman these questions about this horrible trauma she's just experienced, he's just wandering about the room, just like, I don't know, just looking at an EKG machine, making noises that are copying the noises that it makes. Going, doop, boop, boop.
I think I could be one of these.
Yeah,
machines.
just moving a wheelchair back and forth.
Yeah.
So like, okay,
just squirting the interferon in his mouth.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you know? It tastes like nothing.
So imagine you're a woman or just anyone who like a violent crime has happened to, and then you have to talk to the fucking police. You've got the uncle who's fucking just like you can smell M&Ms on his breath or
3
something.
lollipops.
Yeah, he's got 3 lollipops in his mouth, just being like, "Oh boy, you ever done drugs? Oh well, shit, I'm out of questions." And then you turn to your side, and you see a man wearing mirrored sunglasses
In a completely pitch black hospital room.
Yeah, in a pitch black hospital room, you see a man wearing mirrored sunglasses, a black trench coat, just drooling on a matchstick, coming toward with a gun in his waistband, coming towards you with leather gloves, with his hands outstretched, just like, "Oh, what'd you say?" You would like, honestly, you would go into a coma.
Yeah.
Like your body would shut down from the fucking trauma of that. So yeah, like through their incredible bedside manner, they're able to discern that she saw the face of the axe killer, and most crucially, that he did not act alone. Very importantly,
Yes, because nobody else believes that this is a gang of
this
killers.
is a criminal conspiracy. So from there on, they bring in what is possibly the worst police sketch artist ever to be employed.
Since the man had to draw the Alabama leprechaun.
Yeah.
No one has
my
been this
God.
bad at drawing from a description.
Oh my
Like-
God,
like-
that is exactly. That should be the art for this episode.
Yeah, no, I want that picture to be the art for the episode.
And they're like, is this the man you saw? And she's like, yes, in a Dick Tracy comic strip from the 1930s. No, it's like I look at the police sketch artist is just like they make him do drawings for like that people describe, and then they give it to the person as a memento of their crime. Like, oh, you can put that on your refrigerator. Good job. Oh, isn't it nice? Like wait, why? Like wait, why is this criminal as big as the house?
Yeah.
There's no perspective here. And
Is that
it's
4 fingers on each hand?
Yeah, just there's just like no shadowing. It's just this is terrible. But he's our special guy. We're proud of him.
I do want to say that even though this is one of the worst police sketch arts in any movie, it does also look uncannily like Brian Thompson.
Because Brian Thompson looks like a poorly drawn cartoon.
Yes.
He does not have
As Matt
human features.
points out, he looks like an Easter Island head.
Yes,
and this
he's a
drawing
giant
looks
Easter
exactly
Island
like
head.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you would look at that drawing and say, this looks like no human being that ever lived. And then you would meet Brian Thompson. You'd be like, oh, it looks like that human being.
I mean, he just has like Easter Island. He just has like incredibly deep, sharp cheekbones.
Yeah.
It's like really strange. So like then Brian Thompson and his aunt. Again, it's like the inverse
Yeah,
of
the
Uncle
evil
Magic
aunt.
is Auntie Evil.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's mine. I'm gonna kill her. So then like she shows like the inside Axe cop, who's a member of the Axe Momentum caucus, the good one. She like is like, okay, I know where the cops have her. Like we're gonna kill this witness. So even though he knows there's been a description of him given, he's like, I'll just dye my hair and walk into this hospital.
Yeah.
It's like we're looking for a 6'7" man whose face looks like a Halloween mask. But it said he was blonde. No, you just keep going, sir, right this way.
Yeah.
So he gets into the hospital and then immediately kills a janitor and steals his clothes and then kills probably 3 or 4 other people in the hospital.
Seemingly just sort of for fun.
Yeah.
Like, just, he got distracted because he just loves murdering so much. He really does love murdering.
They love it. They love it. And so then he almost kills Bridget Nielsen in the hospital. And this is like Stallone is like, I'm gonna go home and check my files.
Yeah, he goes over to check the files after she gives him the cartoon drawing. And
he's like, I'm gonna compare this sketch against my book of Tom of Finland drawings when I go home.
so he's at his home.
He's like, I think I've seen this sailor before.
He's at home looking on his amazing state-of-the-art PC through his files when 2 guys come to try to murder him. Presumably part of the Axe Gang, although honestly they never actually established that.
It could just be like door-to-door sickos.
It's just some sickos who show up and he just murders the sickos. And then he realizes, oh, if they're coming to kill me, then they're also trying to kill her, which once again feels kind of like a stretch. There's a lot of leaps of logic in this movie. And then so he drives to the hospital in time to see her having escaped the clutches of the bad guy, which is when they decide they have to get out of the city.
And then they meet again with the cuck cop, and they're like one of them says, do you know you have an attitude problem, Cobretti? And he goes beautifully, yeah, but it's a little one. And he even does like a little like hand gesture.
He holds out
like
the,
it's small.
Little stands for.
It's small.
Like a baby. Like he's a man baby.
It's small. And then they agree to put the witness in a safe house. And also another thing that I really like is like Stallone's like, you don't get it. There's a whole army of sickos out there. And they'll do anything to grease this broad. And then they're like, and then the cuck cop, Andrew Robinson, is like, this gang of killers theory seems a bit. What are you basing it on? It seems a bit far fetched. And this is right after. Oh wait, this is right after. There's a car chase where they try to kill him.
Yes,
they try to kill him.
He killed 2 guys at his house.
At his house, and like somebody called the hospital to take 2 like uniformed police officers off their appointed duty of guarding this woman's hotel room.
Yeah,
and then Andrew Robinson is like, it seems like it's all just a sick prank to me.
He says this is all some sick joke. It's like, well, that's the solution. Thank you, Andrew. It's an episode of Punk'd. No one's actually dead.
It's redonkulous. So yeah, so then they agree to let Stallone and his uncle escort Bridget Nielsen to a safe house. After there's a car chase where Stallone destroys his rockabilly car. Anything else happen in that scene?
Yeah, no, it's just a car chase.
It's just a car chase. A lot of property damage. Pretty cool. Oh, it's probably Chris. You pointed out. I think it's maybe one of the earliest uses of like a nitrous booster tank in an action movie that I can remember.
Yeah, write in if you've seen an earlier use of a nitrous switch in a rockabilly tank in an action movie.
Yeah,
earlier than
if
1986.
it's before 1986, I would love to hear about it.
My other favorite thing about this car chase is that it is pretty awesome. It's a pretty great car chase, but seemingly every new shot transports the car chase 20 miles in a different direction somewhere in Los Angeles. It'll be like they're zooming through a wharf, and then the next shot they're going over a hilly bridge in Venice, and then the shot changes and they're like in the middle of downtown Beverly Hills. There's zero continuity in it, but you know what? Who cares? It's fun when the tankers explode.
Yeah, it's fun. And then also I forgot this. Right after Bridget Nielsen was almost murdered again, she's confronted by uncle and nephew in a hospital room again. She's doubly traumatized. And what do? They just do like bants with each other about what food they're going to eat.
Yeah.
That's her hospital food.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you want the cheese?
Yeah.
Why'd you have some of this? And like, they're just doing bants with each other. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Why does this keep happening
actually
to
show
me?
her being like, oh, this is in hell. I'm in hell.
Yeah. So eventually, the Cuck Police Department allows Cobretti